What's up, everybody, and welcome on back to the episode of the My Side of Things podcast. This is now episode 15. Wait, hold on. 5, 10, 15, 16. There we go. This is now episode 16. Trying to do my hand thing. It ain't work out that well. But this is now episode 16, though. I'm your host, as always, Ash. We got a whole lot of things on the docket to get to today, including talking about some NXT Stand and Deliver, WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night 2, and we got to talk about WWE buying out AAA. But we are going to be starting off with a highlight of the weekend. Before we get into that, though, we do got to say just one thing real quick, and not I don't know why I keep saying we. I just got to say, though, if you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast at, like, follow, share, rate, subscribe, all that dang good stuff. You ain't got to subscribe on, like, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all that stuff. Just the liking and the rating definitely does help out. YouTube, make sure you do subscribe. It's free 99, and everybody loves free 99. Well, technically not free 99 because you do got to pay, like, your phone bill and all that stuff, but you know what, just you get it, man, you get it. But let's go ahead and talk about the highlight of the weekend, which was NXT Stand and Deliver. Although it did start off with a bit of a low light for me because I feel like the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Eliminator match, it should have been on the main show. I don't understand why it wasn't. It doesn't make any sense for it not to be, especially when your women's tag division is already kind of in shambles as is. You don't have Asuka back, so you don't have the Kabuki Warriors. You don't really have Chelsea and Piper anymore because obviously Chelsea is a singles star now, and then Piper and Alba Fire, we don't know what they're going to look like in a tag team. So your women's tag division is kind of in shambles right now. You had potentially 4 women's tag teams right here with Roxanne and Cora, Lash Legends of Cara Jackson, aka the Meta Girls. You had Fatal Influence with JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jasmine Nix. This one was JC Jane and Fallon Henley. And then you had Tatum Paxley and Shotzi. I don't know their exact name. I think it's like Chemistry X or Chemical X, something like that. One of the two. You had 4 women's tag teams right here that could easily boost the division, yet you didn't want to put them on Stand and Deliver so everybody could see them. It doesn't really make much sense to me not to do that. I would have done that, especially because they went out there and just balled the heck out. This match was just absolutely phenomenal from start to finish. And that pop rocks that Roxanne Perez hit on Lash Legend was a thing of beauty for anybody wondering how would she hit a pop rocks on anybody bigger than her and it actually looked believable. There you go right there. That one was absolutely beautiful. Tatum was the MVP of the night. Tatum and Lash Legend were the co-MVPs of the night. But I will say I'm pretty confused on the winner now because I guess I'm just going to spoil this. Liv and Raquel lost their belts, and I was assuming that they were going to be winning their belts, but they lost them to Becky Lynch and to Lyra. So if you have a face team winning, I mean, I guess, Tatum Paxley and Gigi Dolan, at least Tatum has, history with Lyra, so it will be a pretty interesting match. Sadly, though, we're just getting the match immediately. It's not like a 2-week buildup, at least. It's just going right into it. There's going to be like cool little story elements there, at least, so I'm not too mad about that. But I feel like I probably would have had one of your other teams that's been working a lot harder this year. More so the Meta Girls have won because I feel like this would have been a really big moment for them to get this big match against one Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. I feel like this would have been a really big moment for Fatal Influence as well. But I am super happy for Gigi Dolan because she's somebody that when she was paired with JC Jane, when it was still Toxic Attraction, they were doing really good in NXT. They had a tag team match after Sasha and Naomi had left. It was like a tag team tournament where the winner was going to be the next women's tag team champions. And I do feel like Gigi and JC were going to win that match, but Gigi ended up getting hurt. So I really am happy for Gigi Dolan to get, another shot at this belt. It does suck that obviously she's not gonna win the match. If it was still Liv and Raquel, I would have had a lot of money on Gigi and Tatum Paxley because man, do these two look so good, especially Tatum Paxley. She is coming along so well. She looks phenomenal right now, man. I can see a really big singles push for her coming real soon. Well, maybe not a singles push. I think she'll start be. I think she'll still be in the tag team for a little bit, but when she does get that singles push, this character that she has, it's absolutely phenomenal. I love it for her. I also did like the moment with Roxanne and Cora. I didn't fully love it. I think it could have been just a bit better, and I don't really know if this breakup was actually needed. If this was the big payoff that Roxanne was going to be missing the main show, Stand and Deliver, and WrestleMania, and her payoff was another feud with Cora Jade, I don't really like it too much because I feel like whenever you do these never-ending feuds like Randy and Cena, KO and Sammy, Roman and Seth, etc., they all have, at least wrestlers within the same ballpark as each other. I don't think Cora Jade is in the same ballpark as Roxanne Perez. I think Cora Jade has potential to one day, get to where Roxanne Perez is, but right now I don't see that being the case. And it's like, it's going to be heel versus heel because you're not putting Cora Jade into a face. You're not turning Roxanne into a face, especially after dipping out on Cora Jade. You can make the claim that maybe just Roxanne feels like she's being underused and underappreciated, and that's why she walked out, because she feels like she should have been on the main show and not the pre-show. She shouldn't have to be in a tag team match and all this stuff because she's already proven that she's a star within that single division, within that women's division. So you can go that route with it. I don't necessarily dislike it, though. I feel like for Roxanne, this is not the feud you needed going onto the main roster. I feel like it needed to be a much bigger feud. Again, her and Cora do have a lot of history with each other, a lot of chemistry with each other, so the feud and the match are going to be great. I just don't like the never-ending feud for Roxanne, though, with Cora, because like I said, Cora's not in her ballpark. If Roxanne's going up this year, I think Cora goes up within 2-3 years. I don't think she's ready this year to go up. I don't think she's going to be ready next year to go up either, because she still has a whole lot to improve on. That ring work, the mic work, the character work, all of it, charisma, all of it still is not at a main roster level, in my opinion. But I'm not the most mad about it because at least you're giving Roxanne something. I do believe Roxanne will put Cora Jade over, or maybe even try to, like, quote-unquote, bury her the way John Cena buries talent. I think Roxanne could end up doing that. And then she gets a big win going up to the main roster. Maybe she does go feud with Lyra Valkyria and get the IC title from her. Not really sure how they're going to do all that stuff. But I did love this match overall. I wish it would have opened stand and delivered. That's the only reason why I would give it a bit lower rating. Because it's like, at a time where we say your women's division is in shambles because the way you're booking it, and you say your NXT superstar of the year, male or female, was Roxanne Perez, you have a fatal 4-way tag team eliminator eliminator match, and you don't put it on the main show when it easily could have been, doesn't make any sense to me at all, especially when the opening for Stand and Deliver was not that good. Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints felt like a hey AEW, look at your former guys, they're on a big show and one of them has a title and we have them in the opener for everybody to see them. It wasn't a good opener in my opinion. It was a good match, don't get me wrong. I think Ethan Page and Ricky Saints had a pretty dang good match. Was not a good opener. I would have took the fatal 4-way tag team eliminator match as the opener. I would have took the women's ladder match as the opener. I would have taken the women's fatal 4-way as the opener. I would have taken the tag team match as the opener. I would have even taken Darkstate and the D'Angelo family as the opener. Anything else would have been better than the opener than this match. It should have been in the middle of the card. It did not need to be the opener. I'm sorry. Good match. Not bad by any means. Just was not it. The Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Eliminator match, I would probably give like a 3.5 out of 5 just because it wasn't the opener and it wasn't on the card. The Ethan Page, Ricky Saints match, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 because of the fact that it was the opener. Again, it would have been a 3 out of 5 regardless of if it was the opener or not. But because it was the opener, I'm dropping it half a point. The next match we had on the card, though, this was the Fraxiom versus Hank and Tank match. I loved it. Thought it was absolutely amazing. Wrong winners, in my opinion. No Quarter Catch Cruise, Tavion Heights, and Miles Bourne should have got this. Miles Bourne has been getting over a lot with the whole Randy Orton's, you're not Randy Orton's kind of thing. And then Tavion Heights is just absolutely phenomenal. Went to New Japan, or I think he went to Noah, and then came back and just looked like an absolute star within that tag division. I feel like this would have been a really great moment to put this tag team over. I do like Hank and Tank, but I feel like Hank and Tank are an NXT tag team. I don't think they're going to get over on the main roster the way that they're over in NXT. I do really like them, though. I think they're a very, very good team. I just don't see WWE using this kind of team on its main roster. It doesn't feel like a team that Triple H would want to use, in my opinion, that TKO is going to want, to be a prominent tag team in that division. It feels like they're going to be very Alpha Academy-esque, where it's like they look good, everybody should like them, but a lot of people just don't really care for them because they feel like jobbers. And that's how I kind of look at Hank and Tank. I love the win for them because it's been pretty, it's been a pretty big build-up for these guys, really just getting over out there, struggling for a minute now. I just don't like the win. I feel like it should have been Tavion Heights and Miles Bourne. I feel like No Quarter Catch Crew has come along so much this year. Charlie Dempsey got the Heritage Cup. It would have been really cool to see these guys get that big win. They had a really big match against Fraxiom where they did almost win. I don't think they ever got a rematch after that, but they came so dang close, and I would have loved to have seen them go over a stand deliver. I feel like these guys would have been able to carry the tag division going forward. Hank and Tank, I just don't think they're going to carry the tag division going forward. I don't like it. I don't really like them on the mic either. I think they're decent, but I don't think that they're just what was needed to get the tag division. It's not like Roman going to Cody, where I feel like Roman had this historic reign. Cody's going to have a pretty damn good one. Did he have a historic reign? No, not by any means. But this will be like going from Roman to like Jey Uso, where it's like, I don't think Jey Uso would have carried anywhere near as good as Cody. I think he probably would have lost the belt within like 2-3 months. And I feel like Hank and Tank are probably going to lose these belts within like a month or two, because I just don't see them being able to make the tag division as interesting as a Miles Bourne and a Tavion Heights, because everybody right now is in love with how damn good Tavion Heights is and how much Miles Bourne does kind of look like Randy Orton. So yeah, I feel like this, I love the match. 4 out of 5. I'm not going to just, grade it differently because Tavion and Miles didn't get the win, because those are my picks. I'm not going to grade it any differently because Hank and Tank did go out there and look like an absolutely amazing tag team, because that's what they've been doing every single week. They look like a really damn good tag team, and I do hope that I'm wrong about them in the future and that WWE does actually use these guys, because I would really love to see these guys, be stars. I would love to see a bit of a different thing from WWE when it comes to picking who their guys are. It's not just the ones that have like that WWE look. It's the ones that, from NXT that were superstars in NXT, came up and had actually successful main roster careers. So I would love for these guys to get it. I just know WWE. Also for Fraxiom, I do understand that it was time to probably get the belts off of them. You want to get them up to the main roster now. I'm just worried bringing them up to the main roster, because we just seen what happened with New Day and War Raiders, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. If this is the division that they're going to come up to, which is the Raw Tag Team division, I'm scared for them, man. There's nothing there. There is absolutely nothing there. LWO is whatever. I don't really care for the group, and Rey Mysterio's hurt now. Who knows how long he's going to be out. I mean, Cruz Del Toro and Joaquin Wilde are a great tag team, and they're going to have a great match against Fraxiom, but it's just like, ugh. And then War Raiders, they clearly don't care about them. The Creed brothers are going to put on a phenomenal match with Fraxiom, and New Day's going to put on a phenomenal match with Fraxiom if they allow New Day to be, the great tag team that they are. I just don't like them going up to the main roster right now, especially if they are going to Raw. I really wish we would just unify the tag belts on the main roster so that it goes between SmackDown and Raw instead of just being on one show. I feel like instead of being on both shows, I feel like it'd be much better. The tag division would look better overall. They're probably not going to do that anytime soon, though. So for Fraxiom, I am just a bit worried. I will say that. I'm just a bit worried about their success going forward, because I'm afraid that if they go to Raw, it's not going to be good for them. They're going to get lost, and I would hate that, because Nathan Frazier and Axiom are some of the best wrestlers on the dang roster. This tag team is one of the best tag teams in the world right now. They are absolutely awesome, and I don't want to see them get broken up either, because I feel like it's just way too soon. I would have them be on the main roster for at least like another year or two as a tag team, so we can eventually get Penta and Rey Fenix versus Fraxiom. That match is going to absolutely cook. I would love to see them versus I would love to see Fraxiom versus Lucha Bros, Fraxiom versus DIY, Fraxiom versus MCMG, Fraxiom versus Street Profits, Fraxiom versus Creed Brothers is going to be a really dang good one too. I would love to see all these matches, so I hope they don't break up anytime soon. Next up, we had the women's North American title match, which was Izzy Dame, Kalani Jordynne, I'm blanking on names, Lola Vice, Thea Hale, Sol Ruka, and I know I'm blanking on one other. Oh, who is that other name? I'm blanking on her. And Zarya. I don't know how the heck I forgot her name. She's in a tag team with Sol Ruka. Had a really big moment with Sol Ruka towards the end as well. I absolutely love this match. 3.5 out of 5. I thought everything that I needed from a ladder match, I basically got it. A few big spots here and there would have been really great from the rest of the women. I feel like Sol Ruca definitely was the star of this match. And it does feel like the theme of this WrestleMania was showing off like one or two people, one person if it's a singles match, two people if it's potentially a multi-person match, although one of them only really showed off one. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. But I feel like the theme of it was just showing off one to two people, and I really did see a lot from Sol Ruca. I will give Thea Hale her props as well, because I think that she definitely did do her thing in this match. But this definitely was a Sol Ruca get all eyes on her party. And towards the end, she looked absolutely phenomenal when she was on the ladder, picked herself up a bit, and then kicked Zarya off the ladder while she was basically upside down. Not Zarya, but Sol Ruca. And then Izzy Dame tries to pull her off the ladder. Sol Ruca goes for the Soul Snatcher off the ladder to Izzy Dame. Then she runs up. She does like the she jumps from the middle rope to the top rope, and then hits a top rope double Soul Snatcher to Thea Hale and Lola Vice. Absolutely amazing moment. I even loved like the little camera shot after Sol Ruca got the belt, where Thea Hale was just looking at her and she's like very disappointed in the fact that she lost. I was making a bunch of jokes about Thea Hale joining Darkstate while watching this match. I don't think she's going to join Darkstate by any means, but I do believe that she is going to have probably a bit of a heel turn, if not a full-on heel turn. I think she's going to be one of Sol Ruca's first opponents, because she did look really upset, especially after she just came back and got the big win. And the what is it called? The contenders match, whatever the heck you want to call it. She was the number one, she was the contender for the freaking match. She was able to get into it. She did look pretty dang mad. So I'm assuming that she will be the first one for Sol Ruca. I think Kalani Jordan will be afterwards. We might even get a Lola Vice match in there. We might get an Izzy Dame match in there. And I'm assuming this all ends with Sol Ruca getting dethroned by Zarya. They're going to finally break those two up. I don't really like them as a tag team. I think they're really good individually. I think as a tag team, they look good because they're just both pretty good wrestlers. I don't think they're pretty good tag team wrestlers, though. So I do think this will end with Zarya probably turning on Sol Ruca. I don't think they're going to turn Sol Ruca heel by any means. I think that she's really over with the crowd. The crowd loves her a lot. She got a big ovation when she won. Everybody was super happy when she was climbing up the ladder. And a lot of the other girls, a lot of the other women, my bad, were, they were getting cheered, but it really felt like everybody wanted Sol Ruca to get this win. So I'm happy for Sol Ruca. I would love to see what's going to go forward with her. I think that she could, eventually get that NXT Women's Championship someday. She just looked absolutely phenomenal. She really said, what torn ACL? This woman was out here just balling the heck out, looking like Game 6 LeBron against the Celtics. My goodness, man, was she doing her thing. So shout out to Sol Ruca, man. I really did love this match, and I actually do wish that this match opened up the show, because I feel like it just would have been a lot better in Ash's opinion. But next up, though, we do got to talk about the D'Angelo family versus Darkstate. I really did like the match. Once again, kind of a one-person showing out match, as Tony D'Angelo just was going off in this match. Once he got into it, he looked absolutely phenomenal. Even on the outside when he wasn't in the match, just, the disappointment, or not really disappointment, but like the frustration with Channing Stacks and how he was going against the plan and all that stuff. That's kind of been the whole thing between him and Stacks for a minute now. I really did love that as well. And obviously we finally got the big payoff of Stacks turning on one Tony D'Angelo. And I think this is going to be perfect for both of these guys going forward, because Tony D is going to get a really big feud before he does leave NXT. And I know I just said, okay, well, what about like Roxanne and Cora? I didn't really like that. For this one, it's just a bit different because Tony hasn't had a big feud. Roxanne's had multiple big feuds, and she's also had big feuds with Cora already. I feel like Tony does need this really big storyline going up to the main roster so we can see what Tony looks like away from the family. This is going to be really good for him. I think that this was needed for him because he's going up to the main roster pretty soon. I think by sometime within the next 2-3 months, he's going to the main roster after this whole storyline with Channing Stacks is over. And that's great because the rest of these guys were not going up to the main roster anytime soon. Rizzo, Stacks, all them. It's just they're not ready yet. I think they need about another 2 years on NXT. Tony D, though, we're not keeping this man in NXT any longer. For a lot of people that said that he does not look that good, I think you were just upset with the fact that Tony dethroned Oba. I don't think you really think that Tony is bad by any means, because I think he's one of my favorites in NXT right now. The mic work, the character work, the ring work, he's got all of that. He's a guy that really does have a lot of great charisma as well, especially on the mic. He's just able to draw you into all his promos. He's really able to keep a lot of attention. He plays this Don character so well that I do hope that they keep this character when they go to the main roster. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it. They could do it similar to Andre Chase when he lost his, his university, but at least give it a lot more attention because I feel like Tony can be a big-time player in that mid-card scene, within that US IC scene. I think he could go up right now and potentially, within like the next year or so, probably get one of those 2 titles. Probably not the US title because I do think that Jacob Fatu is going to be holding that for about a damn year. And I don't want to take the IC title from Dominic Mysterio anytime soon because, gosh, did I love that moment for Dom. But I think for Channing Stacks, though, this is also going to do a lot for him because he does have a lot of potential, but he needed to kind of be in a leadership role now where we can see, can you lead storylines the way that Tony was leading storylines? Can you do this? Because Tony was doing it really damn good. Stacks, you got the wrestling ability, you got the mic work, it does need to obviously improve a bit, but you got it. Now, can you be a leader? Can you look believable as a leader? And I think Stacks will. I think Stacks is a really talented dude. I think he has a lot to be one of those big-time players within NXT, and especially right now where you have Obafemi who's going to need opponents, Ricky Saints is going to need opponents. Channing Stacks can be one of the guys to be an opponent to one of these 2 guys. He's obviously not going to be joining Darkstate. That does not look like it's going to be a thing. It looks like he's going to probably take over the family. I'm interested to see what is going to be his reasoning for this because he didn't say anything about Darkstate or anything like that. He just said, I'll talk to you when I can talk to you. We're going to meet up somewhere. And I'm interested to see where this goes because this storyline looks like it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. NXT does struggle with storylines, so this one right here is going to be a pretty fun one because we don't get many great ones in NXT. I'm super excited for this one. Next up, we had the Women's Fatal 4-Way, correct? We had the Women's Fatal 4-Way, and I'm going to be honest with you, this match disappointed in my opinion. I give it a 2 out of 5. The only reason I do is because it felt like a spot fest. It felt like a bunch of just signatures towards the end and all that stuff, and let's all start hitting our finishers. And nobody looked good, really like good in this match. I felt like Giulia had to slow down for. I feel like Giulia had to slow down for Stephanie. I feel like Giulia and Stephanie had to slow down for Jordynne Grace, and I feel like all 3 of those women had to slow down even more for Jaida Parker, which is why I don't get why Jaida Parker was in this match to begin with. I don't think that she was able to keep up with these women. I would not have had her in this match. I feel like it kind of just. It took away the whole fluidity of this match, and I feel like a lot of these women just did not have any kind of chemistry with each other either, except for Giulia and Stephanie. I feel like Giulia and Jordynne, Stephanie and Jordynne, Giulia and Jaida, Stephanie and Jaida. I feel like Jordynne and Jaida didn't even really have much chemistry with each other either. This match just felt like let's grab our 3 big signees and one of our, futures of NXT, and let's put them on Stand and Deliver because we just need to do something with all 4 of these women. And that's kind of like the theme of this whole entire weekend was get all of our stars into this dang show somehow, some way. And it's like, I feel like it kind of messed up some of the moments and some of the matches. This one definitely was affected by it. It wasn't a bad match by any means because there were moments where it looked really good. I know I said a 2 out of 5. That's like barely below average. It did not look the greatest for a lot of the women that you probably should have been showing off. Like, I feel like Jordynne Grace just kind of looked like whatever in this match. Giulia just looked like whatever in this match. Nobody really stood out in this match, and that's the bad thing is that, like I said, the theme felt like, you're showing off 1 or 2 people. Who was being shown off in this match? It damn sure wasn't Giulia. She didn't look like elite by any means. It wasn't Jordynne Grace, your big signee. She didn't look elite by any means. She looked better in the one-on-one match against Roxanne Perez. She looked better in the one-on-one match against, what was that, Jaida Parker? Yeah, she looked better in that one-on-one match. She looked like she had more chemistry in that one-on-one match. It feels like it feels like either A, these women were just exhausted because of how early Stand and Deliver was, which I definitely could believe, or B, because this match was so last second, they didn't really have much time to ever really work on the match, and that's why they didn't have much chemistry, and that's why this match didn't look as fluid as it should have. I do think it's a good mixture of the two, which is why I hope next year Stand and Deliver probably gets its own night. I would love to see it be on maybe Friday. I know they want to get like that whole weekend because of the fact that, you know, everybody's home and all that stuff, so you get the most amount of viewers. I just personally don't like the fact that it's in the same time. I mean, it's on the same day as WrestleMania Night 1. So either A, WrestleMania goes back to one night and it's all on Sunday, or B, you just put NXT Stand and Deliver a week before or a day before. I would even like a week before, to be honest. That would be much better in my opinion. Let's go ahead and get on to the last match, Stand and Deliver, which was Obafemi, Jevon Evans, Trick Williams. Phenomenal match. One of the best triple threat matches of all time. Obafemi is now in 2 of the best triple threat matches of all time, and he just stamped it. He's going to be a WrestleMania main eventer within the next couple of years. This guy looked like an absolute just superstar in this match. And this match was really a great showcase of all 3 talents, not even just Oba, because Jevon Evans was a dog. He balled the hell out. He took whatever was said to him personal, because right from the jump, he hit this crazy, or he tried hitting the crazy springboard cutter. He got so damn high in the air, Trick and Oba really just kind of sunned him at that moment and just countered him and said, get the hell out of the ring. Took him out multiple times. I will even say that Trick Williams looked a lot better in this match than he had looked in really any other match. And if Trick Williams is going to go to the main roster now, this was a great way to go to the main roster with an absolutely 5-star classic match. Everybody will forget about all the bad matches you had now because this one match right here, I'm going to be real with you, I think Trick Williams can go to the main roster now because he was able to put on this kind of match. I know it sounds crazy to say that like one match makes up for everything, but it really does because it was in the main event. It was in everybody's eyes was on you, and you did not mess up, especially when you have people like myself and multiple other people saying that Trick Williams is going to make or break this match. If he looks at least good enough, the match is going to be 5-star. If he doesn't, the match might not be that dang good. And honestly, Trick had a lot of pressure on him too because Jevon Evans was basically put into this match because Trick, you can't do your job. We don't believe you're going to have a great match against Obafemi. And he went out there and he did miss a few little spots here and there, but for the most part, Trick Williams looked pretty damn good as well. Jevon Evans obviously was the star of this match. He just had a coming out show. He was able to put everybody on notice that he's going to be a future face of NXT, that he might even be a future face of WWE. He gets the mic work and the character work up. This dude is going to just be an absolute superstar. This match, 5 out of 5. Arguably one of the best just stand and deliver takeover matches. I'm going to kind of put them together because it just makes a lot of sense to put them together. One of the best just stand and deliver takeover matches of all dang time. Shout out to Jevon. Shout out to Oba. Shout out to Trick. Really love this damn match from start to finish. I was not bored with it by any means. I constantly caught myself saying, how the are you even doing that, Jevon? And then that moment where Oba just grabbed him by his neck when he came down the frog splash, hit him with the power bomb. My gosh, man. Oba, he's the only guy that could do that. I'm going to be real with you, man. He's the only guy that could no-sell that, or I guess, well, quote unquote, no-sell that, and then just power bomb somebody after a frog splash. Absolutely nasty work from Obafemi. And like I said, man, I know I was pretty critical of Trick a few episodes ago, but I'm also a person of my word that if you do look better in this match, I will give you your props, and I have to give Trick Williams his props because I am not a bitch. I am going to be a person of my word and salute to Trick Williams. Shout out to Obafemi, Jevon Evans, 5-star classic, one of the greatest triple threat matches I have ever seen. I'm so happy that Stand Deliver was at least a great enough show. Overall, I would give it about a 3.5 out of 5. I feel like the women's Fatal 4-Way and the opener, had they just been a lot better, and had that opener not been the opener, and it was the women's ladder match or the Fatal 4-Way tag team eliminator match, this would have been a 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 PLE, probably a 4 out of 5 at the highest, but this one was definitely the highlight of the weekend because let's go ahead and talk about WrestleMania Night 1, shall we? Because, oh, gosh. Oh, baby. This was something. This was something indeed. Let's go ahead and start off with Jade versus Gunther. A lot of people are mad about, a lot of people were talking bad about this match. They definitely ain't talking about this match anymore, though. Jade versus Gunther, to me, let me make this clear from the beginning. This was a really good technical match. Really good technical match. Was it the greatest? No, not by any means. Gunther, Ilya Dragunov, Gunther, Zack Sabre, Gunther, Will Ospreay, Gunther, Bryan Danielson. All these matches, much better. But this is a pretty good technical match between Jey Uso and Gunther. Here's the issue, though. Who the hell asked for a technical match between Jey Uso and Gunther? I did not need to see Jey Uso go out there and work the body of Gunther. I did not need to, well, no, I needed to see it, but not in the way that he started trying to do it at times, working the body and like the legs and the arms and all that. I'm like, Jey Uso, what are we doing here, bro? You're not Gunther. Just, wrestle your way. I don't need IWC wrestling. Like, no. Jey Uso, no matter if you look like prime Will Ospreay or prime Christopher Daniels or prime Kenny Omega, was anybody gonna think that Jey Uso was a much better wrestler? No. I don't know why it was a thing. It needed to be a whole lot different. This match, to me, I'm gonna give it a 3 out of... I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5 for the storytelling because I felt like you know what? I'm giving it a 2 out of 5. A 2 out of 5 for the storytelling. 2.5. There we go. Be a little fair. Because Jey Uso was telling a story in this match. Gunther was a guy that was just not going to work with the super kicks, not going to work with all the little, that weird little uppercut he does with his like dancing and all that. It wasn't going to work. He came out real just... real ready to go, not yeeting and all that stuff. He had like a little mini yeet for a second, but he was real serious. And then when he gets to the match, he's working the body a lot of spears, frog splashes, a lot of hits to the body because he had in mind to hit that submission on Gunther, make him tap out real quick. Made a lot of sense because you're working the body. So obviously, if your torso area has been hit a lot, you're going to be gassed. So when someone puts you in a chokehold, you're gonna want to tap out immediately. Makes a lot of sense. Gunther and Jade did not have a great payoff. They should have been going outside of the ring with it. They should have been throwing each other into the steel steps, going into the crowd, going through the tables, going through the barricades, all that stuff. I don't need to see a bloody match. I just need to see a lot of this. And that didn't happen in this match. It did not align with the story at all. But if we're going to be honest, this story has never aligned with the story at all either. It's supposed to be 10 weeks of hell, and it just never was. It was Gunther playing like some mind games that clearly we didn't even think of the mind games until about 4 or 5 weeks in. So, yeah, no, this match I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. It just was not it for me. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought it wasn't bad. A 2.5 out of 5. That's like barely above average. Well, no, that's like average. It was an average match. So, yeah, no, I think that WWE was just listening to the IWC way too much with this match. And I wish they would have listened to the IWC with this next match because the New Day versus the War Raiders was awful. Look, awful WrestleMania match. I want to make myself clear on that. This match did not need to be on WrestleMania at all. We had a SmackDown tag team TLC match lined up with DIY, MCMG, and the Street Profits. One of your best indie tag teams in MCMG, one of your best NXT tag teams, and carrying a lot of storylines last year in DIY, and one of your best tag teams in WWE and the Street Profits. And you said, no, we're not going to do that. Mind you, again, in a TLC match, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to do New Day versus the War Raiders in a Clash of Clans advertisement match, because that's exactly what this was. This match was just to promote Clash of Clans. That's all. And it was stupid. The ending was stupid. I liked the New Day winning. Kofi Kingston was booking it out of there like as if they wasn't really supposed to win. So it kind of added more into that whole little thing of them cheating. So I did like that. That's why I gave it a 1 out of 5, because I was ready to give it a 0 out of 5, because you had no Big E showing up, and you could say expectations were too high. You got too delusional. You thought something was going to happen that wasn't going to happen. Well, then why the hell was this match on Mania if nothing big was going to happen? There was no buildup for this match by any means. They showed a whole package. It was literally just a New Day turning heel for 95% of it. Then you showed last week's, last Monday's match where the War Raiders hit the New Day with a chair. Dude, there was no buildup at all. This match was stupid. It did not need to be on WrestleMania. It should have been on the Monday before. It should have been on this past Monday. I don't know why it wasn't. Yeah, no, this match sucked. We could have had Chelsea Green being here against Zelina Vega. I would have took that. At least it had more story, and it was a bit better match than this. Yeah, no, I'm giving this match a 1 out of 5. It was really, really dumb and did not need to be here at all. And I'm sorry to say this, but Maybe this next match shouldn't have been at WrestleMania either. Jade versus Naomi. I don't know why this wasn't a street fight. I don't know why it wasn't a last woman standing, falls count anywhere, ambulance match, something like that. Once again, another match similar to Jay and Gunther where you had this blood feud going in and it did not even live up to the blood feud hype. Now, I'm assuming that we're going to get more Jade and Naomi. Great. First match at WrestleMania could have been, some kind of stipulation, especially if if Drew and Damian have a stipulation on theirs. Their feud's probably done. We're probably going to get Drew going after Jey Uso. Cool. But I don't like it. We could have done something more with this. I mean, hell, CM Punk had a whole special guest referee match against Drew McIntyre for his first match. We couldn't do something like that for this. I understand that Bianca was already in the match. I would have loved to have seen Bianca Belair be the special guest referee for this match and then also have a match on night 2. That would have been really cool. Would have had like a whole lot more storyline going into her match against Rhea and Io Sky. So I don't know why we didn't do that there. We had that match right there. They did nothing with this match, and it felt like you gave this super big storyline to these two women and then had no real payoff because you just had a whatever match. I'm going to give this match a 3 out of 5, though, because at least they performed well in the match. I just didn't like the payoff. It felt like it was just lacking so much, in my opinion. So, I'm giving this 3 out of 5. Shout out to Jade, though. Looked like an absolute monster. I do really wish that Naomi looked a lot better in this match because we made her a heel and she didn't really use much heel tactics. This is why I wish we would have done a bit more in this match as well. We could have even had like the ref get distracted and then Naomi grabs like a chair or a kendo stick, or she throws her into like, chairs, or she tried to like trap her underneath the freaking thing on the ring. I forgot what it's called. The tarp on the ring. We could have had her like, trap her underneath like the ring or something like that. We could have had a way where Naomi won and Jade still looked strong, but we did not do that. I don't really know what we have going forward now. I don't really know, especially because I guess let's just go ahead and I'll get it. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So Tiffany versus Charlotte. This match was before Roman, Seth, Punk, but I do just want to talk about it because it makes so much sense to lead into this match because Tiffany versus Charlotte. Good God, this was a stiff-ass match, man. Oh, my goodness. There is definitely hate between these two women. You cannot tell me there's not. And for all the folks that say, like, oh, well, why can't 2 women have a stiff match or 2 men have a stiff match? Every men's stiff match, I believe that these fools hate each other as well. I really do. So it's like, Tiffany and Charlotte definitely had some hate between each other. There was a moment where Charlotte was going for like a spear or going for something like a shoulder tackle into the corner, and usually they step out of the way real early. Tiffany stepped super late to the point where Charlotte hit her face. Then there was a moment where Charlotte had tweaked her knee. It was very clear that the ref was that this was probably not a part of the whole storyline because usually the refs will get involved in it and step in between the women or step in between the men or whatever. And the ref didn't step in between, and then Tiffany started going for her knee a lot, and these knee shots looked like they were a bit brutal to the point where Charlotte was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kick your teeth in," because she kicked Tiffany Stratton square in the mouth. My God. And then Charlotte was just not selling that knee injury. I'm going to be real with you, man. So I think she might have just tweaked it a little bit. And then, or I think she I don't know, either A, she didn't tweak it at all. And the ref was like, what's going on here? They're not actually a storyline. They're actually a storyline. I don't know what they to do here. Or B, she tweaked it, but the adrenaline kicked in and she just was like, I'm not selling this at all, Tiffany. I'm about to just squash you at this point. I don't know. These two women definitely have a lot of hate for each other. I don't know what it is. Tiffany Stratton did get the win, though. Didn't really care for it, to be honest, because this match right here showed that Tiffany and Charlotte are just nowhere near each other at all. Charlotte was leading this match, and Tiffany was just not able to keep up. There were so many times where you could see that Charlotte had to slow down for Tiffany, and I think look at, man, I'm going to say right now, my theory that Charlotte Flair just does not like that Tiffany is getting the push she's getting right now because Tiffany is not ready for it. It feels like it's starting to be more and more true because, my goodness, man, Tiffany Stratton was not able to keep up at all. And we're going to continue with this woman being the WWE Women's Champion. Who's her next feud going to be? Because you had Naomi lose, so we can't do Naomi versus Tiffany. But I'm going to be real with you, we probably don't need to do Naomi versus Tiffany ever again because we did that last time, and Naomi had to slow down so much with Tiffany as well, and it didn't look good. So it's like, what are you going to do? Because Jade won. You're not telling me that we're doing Jade versus Tiffany. Neither woman can lead the match. In the Naomi and Jade match, when they had Jade try leading it in the beginning, it was super dang slow. And then when Naomi started leading it, it looked a bit better. Jade and Tiffany cannot lead, so they cannot have a match with each other unless you have someone else in the match to lead. But are we just going to keep doing this until we, just take the belt off of Tiffany so we can put it on to somebody else? I mean, sure. But I don't know what the heck you do next for Tiffany. I'm going to be honest with you. I see no possible direction. We're not doing Michin. We're not doing B-Fab. We're not doing Chelsea Green because she already has a belt. Probably not going to do Alba Fire because WWE is not going to push Alba Fire. Probably won't be Piper Niven's at either because, again, Alba and Piper also doesn't make sense because Chelsea has the Women's United States Championship. Why would you want to be under, why would you want your underlings to go after a higher belt than yours? Doesn't really make sense. I could see Chelsea going after her, but unless we're using TNA or Lucha Underground Chelsea, we're not going to be able to have Chelsea lead this match at all because Chelsea also in WWE world can't lead a match. So, yeah, no, I don't really know, but I will say this. Overall, the Tiffany Charlotte match was a 3 out of 5 for me. I thought it was just another average match. It wasn't anything great by any means. But I did like the whole little story being told with it, like with these women trying to, say one trying to be the other one trying to be the other. They're dressing just alike. I love the fact that Michael Cole kept calling them different names because of the fact that they're wearing the exact same outfits. I did like Tiffany's entrance as well. I thought it was really cool. But after the Jade and Naomi match was LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. And I got to say it, man. You know what? Kudos to you, Jacob Fatu. That was me clapping. Kudos to you, Jacob Fatu and LA Knight. Y'all actually went out there and put on arguably one of the better matches of the night. Up until this point, it's probably the best match of the night. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. LA Knight did not do much in this, but he kind of just did like Trick Williams and did like the bare minimum. And Jacob Fatu just went out there and looked like an absolute monster. I was surprised that we didn't have Solo Sikoa go out there with him. I'm surprised that we didn't have Solo Sikoa get involved at any point in the match. Obviously, Tama Tonga is injured. So I don't know what's really going to be happening with the Bloodline going forward. I'm kind of worried for them a bit because it seemed like all their members are just kind of getting injured. We don't know when the hell anybody is going to come back. But I do like this for Jacob Fatu. He got the United States Championship, and he just put on an absolute show. I think he showed the hell out at WrestleMania, and a lot of eyes are going to be on this guy now, man. So I really think that the U.S. title is going to be a lot more prestigious. I feel like this is going to be probably one of its biggest runs since Austin Theory, and before that, probably since John Cena. Good God, man. The U.S. title has been slapped in the face, man. But at least we don't have any part-timers holding this belt anymore, so that's a great thing. Not calling LA Knight a part-timer, by the way. I'm calling Logan Paul a part-timer. But after this match, though, we had El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix. I hate this. Well, look, hold on. 4.5 out of 5 match. So dang amazing. It didn't get to hit its second gear the fullest, though. It hit it for a split second, and then it just kind of went into the end. I hate this, though, because this should have been Dragon Lee. This is such a slap in the face to this man who has been involved with the storyline since day one, and we continue to say, no, Dragon Lee, you're not going to be in matches. You had an opportunity last year, but we had to put Andrade because he was a big AEW signing, so we want to slap AEW in the face. This year, we got Rey Fenix and said, hey, you know what, AEW, we're going to slap you in the face once again, and we're not going to use our talent, and it's so dang annoying to me. I understand that Rey Fenix is a dog, man. I know he is. We all know the man is one of the best luchadors on the planet right now, but Dragon Lee is a dog too, and WWE will not allow this guy to be shown off. At this point, this guy just got to leave. He got to leave if he want to actually get shown off, man, because what the hell, dude? What the hell is up with WWE and their hate for Dragon Lee? What did this man do to somebody? My goodness, did he slap someone, baby? Did he kick a grandma? Is he going 09 Randy Orton? Like, what the heck is going on? This guy deserved this match, and he did not get it, and it's so stupid. But at least El Grande Americano and Rey Fenix went out there and had a 4.5 star out of 5-star match. I'm only giving the 0.5 because it should have been Dragon Lee. And also, it did feel like it was a bit quick. Actually, I'm going to be real with you. Most of these WrestleMania matches felt like they were a lot quicker than they really should have been, and I just don't understand why that was the case. Night 1 made a bit more sense with the main event being so dang long, but Night 2 definitely did not make any sense at all. But overall, though, I really did love the heck out of this match. It was probably my favorite match of the night, just in terms of, like, the match itself and the story at least paying off a bit. I do feel like El Grande did need this win because he was going to get the win either way, whether it's against Rey Fenix, Dragon Lee, or Rey Mysterio. So yeah, maybe that's the reason why they went to Rey Fenix, because it was Rey to Rey. I don't know, man, but this main event though. Let's talk about this one, man, because Ash told y'all. I tried to tell y'all, man. I tried to tell y'all that man, Mr. Whoa, 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 whoa. Shout out to my dog, Seth Rollins, man. The new Paul Heyman guy. I try to tell y'all. It made so much sense. Look at the way Roman was treating that man. Like, I want that man to get slapped up on by the new bloodline 24/7 and get put through a table. And what did Roman do? Not come back. He was nowhere to be found. He wasn't even talking to Paul Heyman. And then what did CM Punk do? He allowed Seth Rollins to be in the ring with his best friend. He allowed Seth Rollins to put his hands on his best friend. It took about 4 or 5 slaps and then a push just to get CM Punk to actually come out there and help Seth Rollins, but then he couldn't even get the job done because Seth Rollins hit a curse stomp on him. Also, shout out to Seth Rollins and CM Punk for hitting the meanest of curse stomps and GTSs on that man, MAGA Reigns. Man, I'm so glad for that. But no, this match overall was probably, in terms of like story and all that stuff, I'm going to also probably give it a 4.5 out of 5. I just don't like the story leading into it was the only issue. That's why I like El Grande Americano versus Rey Fenix a lot more, just because the story was a lot better. Well, like, at least it was a bit better storyline going into it. Not a lot better by any means. But I really, really did love this main event overall. This is probably one of my favorite main events that I've seen as a fan of WWE. This main event, just from start to finish, was so dang good. You had Seth Rollins come out, arguably had the greatest entrance of all dang time as well, by the way. Coming out with the fireproof jacket, with the flamethrower, with the burn it down and all that stuff. Then the lights go off, new outfit, all white. Oh my God, Seth Rollins is the best dressed in WWE. Then you got Roman Reigns coming out with the black on white. I thought it was okay. I'm not really a fan of white Jays. I'm going to be honest with you. Those basically were white Jays. I'm not really a fan of white shoes in general, though. I never really just got into it. I prefer black shoes. I like black and white shoes. White shoes to me just stand out a bit too much, and it kind of like overpowers the outfit a bit. I don't really like that, so that's why I never wear like white shoes. Even like white... Well, I'm wearing a white tee, but even like white tees kind of like, overpower outfits. But like if there's like a little bit of color on it, doesn't overpower it as much. And then CM Punk coming out with living color, coming out with the yellow trunks and all that, obviously. And the gray sweater, a nod to when he was a Paul Heyman guy. I really did like that. Living color did their thing as well. Sounded absolutely amazing. Then the match was just, it was just poetry in motion the entire time, man. It was so dang good. Yes, CM Punk and Seth Rollins going into the crowd. And I'm going to be real with you. That trash can shot to CM Punk, I think Seth Rollins has been waiting to do that. He has been waiting to hit this man with something because he hit him in the head with it. He hit him hard as hell in the head with it too. Oh my gosh, man. Like, all these shots look personal. Like, the power bomb that Roman Reigns... No. The smack that Roman did to Seth Rollins, and then the power bomb to Seth and to Punk. My God, dude. Like, bro, this was a stiff mania. This was a stiff mania out here, man. Oh my goodness. Everybody got beef with each other. And then the curve stomps just looked like absolutely vicious too. Like, everything just looked vicious in this match. Seth Rollins was doing his thing from start to finish. I feel like CM Punk definitely did slow down at times. Obviously, he's a bit older, so it makes sense. But overall, everybody just looked absolutely amazing. And then the end sequence with Paul Heyman, hitting the low blow on CM Punk, giving the chair to Roman. He allowed Roman to get some hits in on CM Punk. I ain't really like that, to be honest. But, it didn't make sense because then he went to, because Paul Heyman started telling him to go to Seth Rollins. And then Roman starts getting ready to go for the chair to the back. But then Paul Heyman hits him as well with the low blow and started kind of wiggling as well. I don't know what he was trying to do. He's probably trying to touch his tribal chiefs, I don't really know what Paul Heyman freaky ass was doing. But then he gives Seth Rollins the chair, gets the real evil smirk as well. I love the evil smirk from Paul Heyman, man. Man, oh my gosh, we getting heel Paul Heyman back. It's about to be elite. And I ain't got to hear my tribal chief. Go get him, my tribal chief. My tribal chief. The reigning, defending, head of the table, tribal chief, Roman. Like, bro, I oh my God, bro. That was probably like the worst part of the whole Bloodline storyline, having to hear that man say about 50,000 things and say tribal chief every single 5 seconds. Ugh, it was so annoying. But I really am excited for Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. I want this to go on for a year. I wanted it to be short, but I want this to go on for a year, or at least however long Seth Rollins does hold that World title, because he is eventually going to get it from Jay. I don't think Jay's going to have a long reign by any means. Probably gets a few matches, maybe one against Carmelo Hayes, one against Jimmy Uso, one against maybe Drew McIntyre, and then probably gets... I would assume Drew McIntyre would be at Money in the Bank, and then Seth Rollins does win Money in the Bank and probably cashes in on Jey Uso at some point in time, whether it is that same night or it is another night. And I think we get Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam in the night 2 main event. I'm assuming we'll probably also get Cody versus Cena night 1 main event as well. But I'm going to be real with you. Can we just never get that in the main event ever again? We'll talk about that in a minute, though, man. We're almost there. Don't worry, baby. We are almost there. Overall, though, I would give this match a 4 out of 5, a 4.5 out of 5, and I would give the overall night about a 3 out of 5. It had its moments. It definitely had a really slow start, in my opinion, but like those last 3 matches, the Grande Americano versus Fenix, the Charlotte Flair versus Tiffany Stratton, and the Roman Reigns Seth Rollins CM Punk, definitely picked the night up, even if like the Tiffany and Charlotte match is a pretty average match, a little better than average if you want to say that. Overall, about a 3 out of 5, though. Now... oh my gosh, man. Do we even gotta talk about night 2? Yeah, we gotta talk about night 2. All right, let's start off with Rhea, Io, Bianca, where once again Rhea Ripley showed the world she's not who the hell y'all think she is, bro. I don't know what WWE thinks that she is. She don't put on great matches, though, man. She really, really don't. She got carried like hell in this match. She looked worse than Trick Williams in this match. And what I mean by Trick Williams is that, like, what I said about Trick Williams is the same thing I say about Rhea Ripley. If she looks at least average enough in a match, she'll look pretty damn good. And the way Trick Williams looked in his triple threat, it looked way better than Rhea looked in this triple threat. Rhea is just awful, bro. No, let me not say that. She's not awful. She's a great character worker, but her ring work is just not it. Like, that prison lock submission, what is that? That's not a submission. Who are you making tap out with that move? I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I was going to leave this part in. I might upload it as like a little short or something like that. When I hit the mic, I actually turned the mic off, so my bad. But her whole submission is just really dumb in my opinion. The riptides, whatever. I just don't like the ending to this match because it looked great from beginning to almost the ending. Io Sky, Bianca Belair were just doing their thing. Bianca showed that she might be the best women's wrestler on the dang roster. She might be one of the best wrestlers on the dang roster as well. And I'm going to say this, man. I got Bianca over Io now. I have Bianca over Io in terms of in-ring work because Bianca Belair she just showed the hell out in this match. Everything that they expect from Rhea or that they think of Rhea, Bianca is. The strength, Bianca has that. The in-ring ability, Bianca has that. The character work, Bianca has that. The mic work, Bianca has that. It's not me trying to hate on Rhea Ripley. It's more so me trying to hate on WWE. So that's why I want to make that clear, that my hate is not towards Rhea by any means. I don't think anything bad of Rhea. I just think that WWE thinks way too highly of Rhea, and they don't think highly of other women on their roster unless your name is Lyra Valkyria. Oh, I'm not ready for this, man. I already know what's coming with this, but we're going to get to that in a minute, too. But I just don't like it, and I definitely don't like the ending either because Bianca does the KOD to Rhea. Io does the over-the-moonsault to both Rhea and Bianca, but Bianca takes the pin. So you're telling me once again we're going to be getting Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley, probably at Backlash. I guarantee you on Monday Night Raw, I'm going to hear Io Sky coming out, and then right as soon as Io Sky tries to talk and all that stuff, here comes Rhea Ripley with the, "This is my brutality!" And then Rhea going to come out and start talking about how she wants some rematch and all that stuff and yada yada. And then WWE is going to give it a dang rematch. And I guarantee you that Rhea Ripley is probably going to beat Io Sky in this rematch. And it's just going to be absolutely sick, man. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, see, this is how you make somebody hated because Rhea Ripley was loved by so many people. I think if I didn't already say this, I was trying to check back, but I couldn't find it. So I'm pretty sure I didn't say it. My girl said to me, "You used to love Rhea. What happened?" It's the way that they've done her. They've taken away her wrestling ability, because when she was first coming into WWE, she looked like a much better wrestler. Now she looked like she just does 1 to 2 moves and then a bunch of just punches. And then you strip the character away and just turn her into like a spoiled brat, basically. And it's just really weird to me. Like, this is not a dominant woman kind of character. This is not a mommy Rhea kind of character. Like, if you're trying to make her a, dominatrix or a dominant woman of sorts, this is not dominant woman at all in the slightest. This is spoiled little bottom. Like, that's exactly what it is. No other way to word that. So it's like, overall, I'm going to give this match 3.5 out of 5, only because the ending is likely setting up to something that's just really going to annoy me and a whole lot of people. Next up, though, we have Drew Priest. We had Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest. And I'm going to be real with you. This match did not live up to the expectations that I thought. It felt like it was starting to, and then it hit right as it was about to hit its second wind, Drew McIntyre hits the Claymore through a chair, and then 1, 2, 3 Damian Priest. This match should have been 10 times longer than it was. Like, it was like a 13, 14-minute match, and I feel like it should have been at least like a 20 to 25-minute match. Same thing with like Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair as well. I feel like that should have been a lot longer match. So I feel like all these matches should have been extended by at least like 5 to 10 minutes, because there was like a whole 30 minutes left at like the end of the show, and it just felt really dumb to me, in my opinion. So, yeah, no, I did not like it at all. But this match, because it did feel a lot shorter, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. It was just an average match to me. It'd be basically the same thing if I said like a 7 out of 10. It's just average to me. It didn't really get to that level of brutality either that I thought it was going to get to. Same thing that happened like with Jay and Gunther. This one actually was a street fight, but it didn't really feel as brutal to me. It just felt like we wanted to make Drew McIntyre look really, really strong, and we wanted to show Drew McIntyre's personality off, which that moment where he took the person's phone and then took the selfie, I really did love that, but I just wanted a lot more brutality from this match. That's the only thing I needed, and this would have been like a 4 out of 5 match for me. Overall, though, it was at least something that I could watch back because it was decent. It was there. I liked it. I didn't love it by any means. But shout out to Drew, though, because he likely is going to go on to face Jey Uso very soon and probably be his Backlash opponent. But next up, though, we had arguably one of the most interesting matches of the night. We had Dominic Mysterio versus Bron Breakker versus Finn Balor versus Penta. And it felt like a really good match that I was talking to a mutual about it on live. And it felt like the only person they really let show themselves off in this match was Bron Breakker. Dom, Penta, and Finn felt like they just were kind of all leading while Bron was, we're kind of all following while Bron was leading. And it's like, in the Fatal 4-Way, it felt the same thing with the women's Fatal 4-Way on Stand and Deliver, where it's like, your other 3 competitors didn't really do much. They did just enough. And it's so weird because it's like, you would think you want to show off Penta. You would think you want to see Canadian Destroyers and all that stuff. You'd want to see more of like the snapping of the arm. You'd think you'd want to see a lot more from Finn because we know Finn can go. Dominic Mysterio, you want to see a Canadian Destroyer from him. You want to see some Hurricane Ranas and just what he can really do as a luchador. We didn't really get to see that. But shout out to Dominic Mysterio, man, because not only did he get the win by pinning Finn Balor, he also got over naturally. And I love that for Dominic Mysterio, because I said in the last episode, the episode before that I do not see Dominic Mysterio getting over as a face unless, we really, really push something. But no, this man got over as a face. He was able to become Eddie Guerrero without anything else, like without any outside stuff, without any forcing of it. He just became one of the biggest faces in WWE by the end of the night. And it's like, in a night where one of your biggest faces just took an L and is probably going to be gone for a minute, this is actually great for Dominic Mysterio, man. This is great for WWE as well, because as long as WWE allows him to be a face, which they better allow him to be a face, so it's going to be really dang stupid if they don't, this guy is going to be a superstar, man. That's what I can say about Dominic Mysterio right now. This is probably the first time ever that I have seen somebody get an encore in WWE when it came to a "you deserve it" kind of chant. Like, I was like, wait, what the hell just happened here? I was like, this isn't a concert. I never seen anybody get encores. This dude just got over naturally, and I love that so much for Dominic Mysterio, because for a minute now, ever since he joined Judgment Day, a lot of folks have been saying this man just cannot wrestle, and it's so crazy to me because he definitely can. Look at him when he was with Rey Mysterio. He looked like an absolute just superstar. His wrestling was, he was obviously being led in matches, but he looks so dang good. And I'm just happy now to see that Dom's been kind of opening up his bag a bit more and really allowing the fans to, embrace him naturally. It's going to be amazing on Monday Night Raw to hear the "You Deserve It" chants. I think he should actually come out first and not anybody else. I think Dominic Mysterio should be the guy to come out first so he can just get the whole love from the crowd with the "You Deserve It." And I'm going to be real with you. I think we should break him away from Liv Morgan. I think that it is time to break this man away from her, let him be on his own, and allow him to show the world that he can be that guy, that he doesn't need other people, that he can be a superstar, and that he can be the face of the company, which I think he definitely can be. I'm super happy for Dom, man. Y'all know that I've been betting on Dom for a minute now. I'd had all of my chips into Dominic Mysterio's corner. He is going to be one of the biggest faces in WWE, and it's great too because I think Oba is probably going to be a really good tweener, probably aligns a bit more with a heel, but we just love him so much that he's probably going to be a tweener. Braun Breaker, kind of the same thing there. And then you have, let's see, who else is coming up right now? You have Penta, who could probably be a really big heel right now. You have Drew McIntyre, who could be a really big heel right now. So you do need faces, and this mid-card scene, it has Ludwig Kaiser, heel. It has Bronson Reed, heel. It has Braun Breaker, who's probably going to still be in there. That's basically a heel. It has, like I said, Oba eventually, but probably call up Ethan Page, heel. There's a lot of heels that are going to be getting called up, and these faces are needed, and Dominic Mysterio is needed to, Pete Dunne as well is another heel too. So it's like he's really going to be, a big mainstay in that mid-card division for a minute until he eventually does get over as, the world champion, as WWE champion. And I'm happy for Dominic Mysterio, man. This is my dog right here, man. Latino Heat. Let's fucking go, man. Let's go. I love that match so much. And then, oh my gosh, man. The next 4 matches were all some bullshit. The next 4 matches were all some bullshit. Starting off with Randy Orton versus Joe Hendry. What was this match? Okay, look, no, wait, hold on. Why did we get this match? Why? I absolutely loved it. I thought it was funny as hell. I give it a 3 out of 5 because why did we need Joe Hendry? I mean, it's a cool moment. TNA World Champion coming to WrestleMania. That's really cool. Getting a match with Randy Orton, but basically kind of getting squashed in a sense. That's really what happened there, was that he kind of got squashed. What was the point of this? Why did you just make the TNA World Champion look weak? It made it look like this is a secondary belt, and TNA is not a secondary company. It is a major professional wrestling company that is not a developmental league. But because you have so many NXT guys going there, and it looks like they're having awesome matches against these TNA guys and really pushing them to their limits, it makes it look like TNA is almost a developmental league. And I hate that for TNA because it's like, this is not the direction that TNA should be going. But then again, I don't really care because you signed Tessa Blanchard, so I'm not mad, man. This is exactly what happens when you sign that bum right there. But I feel like this should have been somebody else, though. It could have been Carmelo Hayes. He just had a big win in the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. Would have been a really good moment for him to show that you are, starting to push Carmelo Hayes. I don't know if Rusev's on a 30-day or not, but I would have preferred Rusev. I would have preferred, who else do we have there? I would have liked The Miz to come out. That would have been pretty dang funny. I would have liked for just really anybody else to come out. You could have had somebody from NXT come out, like an Oba Femi. Obviously he did have a match already at Stand Deliver, but I would have loved to seen, try to show off Oba Femi, one of your next guys. I would have loved for Jevon Evans to come out and kind of get a big WrestleMania moment against Randy Orton and maybe try to remake that moment where he did go for the top rope, the top rope. The top rope was like Phoenix Splash, something like that, and then he just gets countered into the RKO. I would have loved that as well, but in a super big moment for Jevon Evans. He really could have pushed him to the moon. But sadly, we did not do that at all. Instead, we just brought out Hendry, a guy that's like 35, 36 years old. And we're like, yeah, this guy's our future. He's going to be one of the guys in the company to go forward. And it's just like, no, we didn't need this at all. Hell, you could have brought out Bron Breakker after losing that match. That would have been a really good way. I mean, he would have been protected because he just had like a 15-minute match in a fatal 4-way. So why not bring him out to kind of, give him a big moment? I don't know. I didn't really get it. But I mean, hey, it was a fun moment, though. So I'll say that. It's a fun moment. I like seeing Randy Orton do the whole little Hendry meme thing and all that. Did his pose and all that. I thought that was pretty funny. So, yeah. Oh, my gosh. We have to talk about the match, though. We don't have to talk about it. We don't. You know what? No. I'm not talking about it. I'm skipping over it. Somebody lost that shouldn't have lost to a person that should never be defeating this person, and they've beaten multiple legends now within WWE. But I'm not even going to talk about the match. We're skipping over it. We're not giving it any kind of acknowledgement whatsoever. So after Randy Orton versus Hendry, the marching band came out and we're just like, and then Trick Williams came out and they were like, whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. And then we, for some reason, got Liv Morgan and Raquel said, I guess y'all need a match. So Liv Morgan and Raquel came out. There we go, right there. Yeah. Liv Morgan and Raquel came out. And then we got Lyra came out, and her mystery tag partner was one Becky Lynch. And I don't want to talk too much about this match either because, well, why are we making Lyra 2 belts already? That felt really dumb to me. She didn't need to be 2 belts already. This is way too damn early. And my God, is Lyra Valkyria more of a future than literally everybody else on the roster? Jesus Christ, 2 belts already. But I don't get why we had Liv Morgan and Raquel get the belts off of Naomi and Bianca to not defend the belts at all. And then we put them on a WrestleMania match and we had them lose. Kind of just said that this match did not need to be on WrestleMania. But the worst part about all this is that it felt like a slap in the face to Bayley. Your workhorse who has been working her ass off for basically the past 5 to 6 years now, carrying your women's division, or at least playing a big part in it ever since like 2019, her whole storyline with Bayley, with Sasha Banks. That was, the whole Friends thing at first, double champions, SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion, Tag Team Champions. Then they eventually had their breakup, and that was another big storyline in 2020. Then 2021, it wasn't really doing too much. She was there. No, my bad. No. Bianca eventually got the title. Yeah, she got the title from Sasha, and then one of Bianca's bigger feuds was Bayley with the whole Ding Dong Hello thing. She was helping out a lot on Raw as well as SmackDown. And then eventually in 2022, I want to say, was when Damage Control came around, and she was leading that group, helping Io Sky and Dakota Kai. And then, going forward with that whole thing, they were tag team champions for a minute, and then eventually they got the throne, but she was helping out Damage Control a lot. She helped that storyline for basically all 2022, all 2023, and 2024 as well, which eventually led to the breakup of the group. And then, not all of 2024, my bad. The first half of 2024, because the whole breakup happened at WrestleMania. She did a lot for that storyline, and then, you didn't give her much as champion. You really didn't give her much at all, but she had a great storyline with Nia Jax, and then she also had a great feud going forward for Nia Jax for like her first big feud as champion, and she played a very big part in the whole Survivor Series War Games match. That she had a feud with Roxanne that literally did not get off the ground at all because you did not give it one match. You just gave it a promo and then a fatal 4-way against Giulia and Cora for the NXT Women's Championship for some stupid dang reason. And then you said, you know what, Bayley, we're going to throw you into a tag team with Lyra Valkyria instead of putting you in a match with Lyra Valkyria because you deserve to be in a tag team. Wait a minute, never mind. You're not the 4 horsewoman we wanted Becky. Bayley, get on out of here. You're fake injured. We'll see you in a couple of months. They just told Bayley, you're basically our 3rd biggest horsewoman because we allowed Charlotte and Becky to both get WrestleMania spots, but not you. Wow. What a way to slap your former women's champion, your 5-time women's champion, your 4 horsewoman, one of the ones that is partly responsible for the women's revolution even being a thing. Wow, what a way to slap her in the face. Hey, I was told by Nick Khan that they signed talent and that they don't waste them away. But literally a day before her match, you waste her away. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, this is a slap in the face to Bayley. This is one of the stupidest things that we could have done. I'm not even a big Bayley fan either because of who she aligns with and all that stuff, but my goodness, man, this was just stupid. I understand Becky Lynch is the man too and all that stuff, and I understand that Becky Lynch is a super big draw and all that, but bro, this should have been Bayley's moment. Or you could have at least had like a mystery opponent for Bayley or something like that. I mean, for Bayley and Lyra, it could have been like Bayley versus Lyra in like a singles match, and you say that you add someone to the match that doesn't really need to be in the match, and then that person gets taken out. And you say you have a mystery opponent, and it ends up being Becky Lynch, and then Lyra like pins Bayley or something like that. That would have been cool, but no, we didn't do that either. We could have easily done Becky and Lyra versus Bayley and Roxanne. We could have made Bayley and Roxanne a tag team, but we didn't do that. Could have made them the women tag team champions, then had Lyra and Becky dethrone them, but we didn't do that. Then if we had done that, we could have actually had the Bayley and Roxanne feud where Bayley and Roxanne are blaming each other for who lost the tag team titles and all that, and go to a great feud with them, but we didn't do that either. Nope, we didn't do any of that. We just threw Bayley off the card and subbed in Becky because, hey, man, why would you want to have, who's a good comparison here, man? Why would you want to have Chris Bosh on the card when you can have LeBron? Now, I mean, that's actually a crazy comparison because I'd rather have LeBron in the game. Oh man, why? But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's basically like that. No, it is. Because I would say that. Well, no, wait, hold on, no. Becky Lynch is not LeBron. Becky Lynch is Dwayne Wade. Charlotte is LeBron. There we go. Why would you rather have Chris Bosh when you can have Dwayne Wade? Which, in my opinion, I'd rather have Dwayne Wade because that's my dog right there. That's my goat. But good God, man, you did not have to do this to Bayley. It feels so wrong, in my opinion, man. Let's go ahead and talk about Mr. John Cena. Yeah. Let's talk about y'all boy. That's y'all GOAT. He came out there. He came out here and put on this show. He came out here and put on a shit show. This the man that y'all told me was gonna bury Cody Rhodes. Oh man, watch when the match happens. It's gonna be great. Ash was even saying that too, that this match should be great because John Cena puts on great matches with great wrestlers. Now everybody making excuses. Oh, well, John Cena is just old. You expect him to go out there and put on a 5-star match? Samoa Joe is 45. AJ Styles is 47. Dustin Rhodes is like 50-something years old. Then you got CM Punk, who could at least put on a good enough match. Come on, man. We're not doing this. Dude, Randy Orton is 40-something years old as well. We're not doing this. John Cena does not get well, he's old, guys. We're not doing that as an excuse. And then this other excuse that, John Cena said that he was going to ruin wrestling. John Cena said that he wasn't going to give the fans what they wanted either, but then went on to try to bury Cody Rhodes because the whole fandom wanted him to bury Cody Rhodes. John Cena also said that he wasn't going to be showing up after WrestleMania, that he was going to be taking his ball and going home after WrestleMania, or taking the championship and going home after WrestleMania. Now he's going to be showing up. So what the heck? Oh, he also said he's not going to tell us why he did it, but then what does he do? Proceeds to tell us why he did it. So no, this was not an excuse. No. Stop all the excuses for John Cena. This was a trash match because y'all boy John Cena led this match. Had Cody Rhodes led this match would have been top tier 5-star classic. But because that bum who can't wrestle led the match, he is the fault for this match being garbage. This match being one of the worst WrestleMania matches of all dang time. This arguably being the worst WrestleMania. This was the worst WrestleMania main event match of all dang time. This match was worse than Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso last year. This match sucked. It was garbage. And the annoying part is the past few matches were not that good or had some BS happen in them that Ash was like, damn, this match could, solidify the show as at least a good enough damn show because the first couple matches were really damn good. But no, y'all boy John Cena, which I love the entrance coming out. No Titron, not many lights. John Cena on the thing. I mean, on like the little ramp, got the all black on. I'm like, oh yeah, he coming ready to kill it. He coming ready to put Cody to sleep. It's gonna be a funeral for Cody, even though I wanted my dog to win. John Cena was coming out there with a mission, it looked like. He came out with a mission to ruin Wrestlemania, and for all y'all saying that was a damn purpose, no. Y'all cannot make me believe that John Cena in his final WrestleMania wants to go out with a bad one. You cannot make me believe that. Hell no. No. You cannot make me believe that WWE is like, okay, so this WrestleMania is probably going to get one of its lowest ratings. We put a lot of money into this. A lot of people are going to be upset. Yeah, we're okay with this, John. Let's go ahead and have a bad match. No. Where the heck was The Rock at? Why was he not there? Intricate part of this whole entire storyline. And then what does he do? Is not there. He's not there. He could be there last year to do a freaking a tag team main event match, stealing the spot from Bayley and Io that should have got the main event. He could do that, but because he's not in the match this year, oh man, well, I don't really care, man. I'm gonna go shoot more iRobot. If that was even The Rock, that might have actually been. Was that Will Smith? That might have been The Rock. One of the two. I think it actually might have been Will Smith. Well, he was ready to go shoot more movies, man. That's The Rock right there. Egotistical man that if he's not a part of it, he don't really care about it, which is stupid because he was a part of this. No, instead I gotta hear fiend, 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 fiend. I don't care about Phineas and Ferb. It is 2025. Is that show still even going on? Goodness gracious, I gotta hear this stupid ass song played again and again and again and again and again and again. Why is Travis Scott fucking here? Why is he ruining every damn moment? Why? Why did Travis Scott have to cost Cody Rhodes? Now this makes Cody Rhodes dethroning Roman Reigns look fucking stupid. It's the same thing I said with Jon Moxley dethroning Bryan Danielson. If he was gonna have a bad run with him, put on bad matches, he shouldn't have been the guy to fucking dethrone Bryan Danielson because that slapped Swerve Strickland in the face, who had an absolutely amazing run. Roman Reigns, I don't like the fucking man at all. I can't stand this human being. But damn, did he have a great damn run? Cody Rhodes dethroned him. I'm like, oh yeah, baby, we about to get some great run from Cody Rhodes, and it will look pretty damn good. But then the ending was fucking stupid. The ending was fucking trash. Because of John Cena. Because of all you fucking Cena fans. Giving this fucking man the excuse of, well, he said he was gonna put on a bad match, that he was gonna ruin WrestleMania and all that stuff, and you're supposed to be mad, and the way you're mad right now and crashing out, he wants all of that. This was stupid. This is not good storytelling. It's not. It's stupid. It's lazy. The same way that y'all have been ridiculing AEW for this Death Rider storyline, but y'all don't want to hold John Cena and WWE and The Rock accountable for this shit-ass storyline. Y'all are so biased. Y'all are. If this was happening in AEW, y'all would be killing it. Y'all would be saying that this storyline fucking sucks. So stand on business. Keep it real. This is ass. It's garbage. It fucking sucks. Why are we doing this? In John Cena's final year, I don't even like the man. Y'all know that I can't stand John Cena. He's boring as hell to me. I never cared for this man as a wrestler. Randy Orton over John Cena 10 times out of 10. But in the man's final year, this is the way he's gonna go out? This is the way? We're listening to the fucking IWC again? Cody's boring. I don't like Cody as champion. Boo. So we're going to try to get Cody Rhodes over by having him dethrone John Cena and make wrestling fun again. The same motherfuckers that don't like Cody Rhodes are not going to like Cody Rhodes because he fucking dethrones John Cena. Because he won't make fucking wrestling fun again for them. It's not going to work. These dummies keep listening to the IWC, but they want to tell all the IWC to shut the fuck up. They want to tell us to shut the fuck up, but they want to listen to us. Cody's boring. Ugh, I don't like Cody. I want Roman back. But then we're going to have fucking Cody Rhodes dethrone John Cena because John Cena ruined wrestling and is going to put on a shit show for the rest of his fucking retirement tour. And then we're going to have Cody Rhodes dethrone that man. And he's going to make it interesting again. Do you think Cody Rhodes is going to make wrestling interesting again? Do you actually think that? He's not. The people that don't like Cody Rhodes in the fucking IWC, they're never going to like Cody Rhodes no matter what. No matter what. This man could cure cancer. This man could cure world hunger. This man could bring world peace. This man could fix every fucking thing in the world. He could prove everything that needs to be proven. This man could go all into the fucking black hole, come out of the black hole, right back over here, and it would still not be enough. This man could have a fucking 5-star match in the fucking on the fucking moon. And folks would still not care about Cody Rhodes. Because the ones that hate Cody are always going to hate Cody the same way the ones that hate Cena are always going to hate Cena. It's not going to change. And y'all say that, well, Triple H is so different from Vince McMahon. No, he's not. He's using the same dumbass tactics that Vince McMahon used. It's so stupid. It's stupid. This is dumb. It's lazy. It's boring. Why the hell would you do this? And you know what's even more stupid? If John Cena goes on to have great matches against the likes of Randy Orton, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns, he has great feuds with them, what is everybody going to say? Cody made it boring. Cody made the main event boring. It's Cody's fault that this match sucked. That's what everybody's going to say. So when then Cody Rhodes makes wrestling fun again, which, oh my God, talk about MAGA right here. God damn. When Cody Rhodes makes wrestling fun again, he's not going to be able to. Unless you're telling me we're going to get a boring-ass Randy Orton match, a boring-ass Seth Rollins match, a boring-ass CM Punk match, a boring-ass Roman Reigns match, a boring-ass Dominic Mysterio match, a boring-ass Bron Breakker match. We're definitely going to get a boring-ass Logan Paul match because, my God, that man cannot fucking wrestle to save his damn life. If you're telling me we're going to get all that, throw this fucking year away. Throw this fucking year away. This is ass. This is garbage. If this is their fucking counter to the Death Rider storyline, good job. Good job. You fucking did it. You made the Death Rider storyline look 10 times better than this boring ass story. This was ass. 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 It sucked. It was fucking garbage. Oh my God, man. I'm tired of all y'all making excuses for fucking John Cena. He can't wrestle. And the fucking Triple H want to listen to the fucking IWC and let's have John Cena go out here and show off a little bit of a Hurricane Rana. Ooh, didn't even hit the move. Let's have John Cena, instead of showing that he could wrestle, we could have done that like how we did with Jey Uso because we ruined that fucking match by having Jey Uso look like he's fucking prime AJ Styles. Instead of having John Cena do that, we had John Cena hit about 15,000 fucking AAs. 15,000 AAs. The AA spammer. This man was mashing the AA button. That's the only button that he was hitting. Oh, the you can't see me to the crowd. Oh my God, bruh. Which is dumb because he tried hitting it to Cody Rhodes second before that. But I'm not going to give the fans what they want, though. I'm not. But then I'm going to give the fans what they want. You can't see. Oh, never mind. Got poked in the face. Bruh. This match sucked. This match sucked. There's no excuse for it. But y'all going to keep making excuses, though, because that's y'all fucking GOAT. That is the man that y'all will drop to y'all knees for and two-hand glaze it. That's y'all mans right there. Y'all love that man more than y'all love y'all wives and y'all girlfriends. Y'all love that man more than y'all love y'all boyfriends and husbands. That's y'all daddy right there. And it's sad. It's sad Don't ever tell me that Cody Rhodes can't ever wrestle again. Don't ever tell me that Cody Rhodes ruined this match ever again. Don't ever tell me that Cody Rhodes cannot be in the same ring as John Cena when it comes to the mic, because Cody Rhodes cleared this bum-ass mofo in every single category. Every one of them. Every damn one of them. Mic work, character work, charisma, ring work, and he's a better fucking human being too. John Cena, on the same week that this man said, all allegations aside, I still love Vince McMahon, went out there and looked just like Vince McMahon in that damn ring. On the same week where you could have made me forget about that dumbass comment that you made about Vince McMahon, you didn't. You didn't. Fucking bum. And I'm leaving in all the damn cuss words this time. Last time I bleeped them out. They add to this crash out. John Cena is ass. This proved it. And if this really was all on purpose, if all this was on purpose to have a bad WrestleMania main event, then you know what it tells me even more? John Cena don't give a fuck about wrestling. He cares about stories. He's not a wrestler, he's an actor. And in the same fucking week that we slapped a real damn wrestler in the face in AJ motherfucking Phenomenal Styles, we go out there and do this. This is why folks is turning away from WWE. Because this is a shit show. This is an absolute shit show. This man, AJ Styles, has been putting his body on the line for 20 plus fucking years now. Put 3 companies on his back at one point in time. And had to get slapped in the face by a racist, misogynistic, homophobic, transphobic, fucking literate, uneducated, dumbass, nepo baby that can't wrestle to save his damn life and try to lead a match and look like John Cena in the fucking main event. We had to have that happen, and then we had to see John Cena show where he lies. Storytelling over wrestling. He's an actor, not a wrestler. I give this man zero fucking respect as a fucking wrestler. He is a poor excuse for a wrestler. I cannot believe Cody Rhodes had to leave WWE, go to the fucking Indies, go to Ring of Honor, go to TNA, go to New Japan, create his own goddamn fucking company, and then come back to this bullshit. That man had to go make a fucking name for himself while John Cena got popped on a fucking pedestal his whole damn career. This man, Cody Rhodes, had to do all that. And the payoff was a horrible match against John Cena. Yeah, fuck John Cena. My voice going out. Fuck John Cena. Let's talk about WWE buying AAA, shall we? Oh my gosh, dude. When I grade AEW versus WWE second quarter, oh man, WrestleMania is really going to affect WWE. Backlash better be top tier because it's April, May, June. So Backlash and Money in the Bank, those better be top tier. If they're not, dear God, Max, you get 3 PLEs. Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, no, it better be top tier. But yeah, no, let's go ahead and talk about WWE buying AAA, because I do want to say before I jump into this, trigger warnings for SA, physical, sexual, all that kind of assault stuff. So if you're not comfortable with those kind of conversations, you probably should just stop listening to the rest of this part right here. If you're okay with it though, you keep listening. So when it comes to this whole entire thing of WWE buying AAA, I don't like this because it kind of just goes towards my point of WWE not caring about women. I've already said in the past that WWE's booking of women has been very suspect, to say the least. They've had 7 and 10 total main events between Raw and SmackDown. So from 2024, 7 for SmackDown, 11 for Raw, and that's a total of 18 out of 108. And they only had 1 PLE main event last year. I don't like how they do their women. And now you do this, where you have Saraya leave AEW, Saraya, a.k.a. Paige, who had a relationship with one Alberto Del Rio. And obviously, if you've read into that, you know that that was a very messy relationship. It It was definitely abusive. As far as Paige's whole side of things, there are reports there that Paige was, hitting him as well. But from what I heard from both sides, Alberto Del Rio has never said one thing about the relationship, where Paige has detailed in her book about how she was a victim and protecting herself multiple times. So when charges got thrown out because it was both of them hitting each other and not just the one of them, Paige has talked about how the legal system has basically never helped her in this whole entire situation. Alberto Del Rio is a very, very horrible man, though, because it's not even just with Paige, it's with a whole bunch of other women as well. And just this past, I think a week or two ago, or maybe a month ago, he was in Tijuana. There was a show there with AAA. He had been scamming a whole bunch of folks. They started throwing coins at him in the ring, and he hits an old woman with a chair. This man is 47 years old and still acting like an immature child. That should let you know this man is very much so. I mean, obviously, anybody be mad at throwing freaking coins at somebody. Yes, 1,000%. But to go throw a chair at an old woman is crazy, man. Like, you could have hit anybody else in the ring, but mind you, you even hit a dude. You could have hit a dude, but you didn't do that. You could have just also left the ring, but you didn't do that either. So, yeah, no. And he's also had multiple SA charges, not even just towards one Paige. It was also towards other women as well. So, yeah, no, it's just very, very sticky as all. But when it comes to Stephanie Valcour, there's a guy there in AAA who at least was formerly there, and his name is El Cuatero, and he not only abused her multiple times, but he also tried unaliving her as well. Now, his cousin and brother, I'm not sure exactly which one is which, Forastero and Sanson, they are the current AAA tag team champions, and while they shouldn't technically, it shouldn't be like a thing of oh, they can't be in the company because their brother is a horrible person, or their brother/cousin is a horrible person, their relative is a horrible person. There we go, right there. The one with a podcast, I forgot exactly which one, he had El Cuatero on his podcast or on his show, one of the two, and never said a thing about the entire situation. He allowed him to be up there and never even asked him about it at all. Obviously, legality, all that stuff, cool, whatever. Now, the head, which is, his name is Conan, he's like the head, the booker, all that stuff. He had this to say about the whole entire situation. AAA's position, which I 100% agree on, only because we don't know what happened, how it happened, because here's the thing, and I'm not saying that domestic violence is not an issue, because it is, but a lot of times girls, when they mess around, but a lot of times girls, when guys mess around with them, when they get mad at them, they know this is a good way to bury them, you know what I'm saying? So you got to hear both sides out, not just one, but I will say this, it doesn't matter what she did, what she said. In today's climate, if you leave visible marks on the female, you're effing done. It's not done there, though, because we actually have a whole lot more. Let me find the second one of these things. Okay, here we go. Stupid dang pictures. He had also this to say. We've all run into that crazy chick, and I'm not saying this is her, talking about Stephanie Valcour, that wouldn't be afraid if she was mad to F over your life. I know I have. So first of all, he basically said that somebody has accused him of these things, so that he is putting a lot of feelings into this whole entire thing when talking about when Stephanie Valcour and the whole entire situation of her, threatening that, not threatening, talking about, telling her story about how El Cuatero abused her and tried unaliving her. Okay, cool. So you said all these things. You've also said that a lot of women do lie about these things. Now, here's the thing. Let's just be real for 2 seconds. Is that a true thing? Yes, there are people who actually do lie. 1,000%. We all know this. This isn't the thing you say, though, when you're supposed to be a neutral party in this whole entire thing. When you're the owner, you're either going to pick the woman's side or you stay neutral. I don't want to hear, not even just a woman, because whoever is being abused or whoever's being anything, you pick the victim side or you stay neutral. You do not go side with the other side. Why do you not go side with the other side? Because a lot of people are going to say, oh, that just feels very sexist and stuff like that. Again, I said woman or anybody that's abused, but if you want to stay on women, you stay on the woman's side of things or the abuser side of things. The victim side of things, because the victim is always right until proven that they are lying. That is what you do. That is just a morality thing. I don't really care who says that that's not right. It should always be innocent until proven guilty. There's just certain times where innocent until proven guilty does not matter at all. And I'm also going to be honest with you, too. For the people that said, oh, well, would you not defend one of your superstar wrestlers if this was your guy? No, I would not. I would put them on either paid leave or I'd probably put them on paid leave because just, again, you want to stay as neutral as you possibly can, but still try to, support the victim as much as you can as well. So I probably put them on paid leave until the whole thing got, solved and all that stuff. And it eventually came out that the person did what they did. You're going to be off my roster, buddy. And if it came out that it wasn't true, okay, now we can work kind of things out. But here's the even weirder part about this entire thing. WWE released Odyssey Jones when he had all these allegations. When he had all these allegations, and they never hired him back once it was proven that it was not true. But they're real quick to buy out AAA, which means that they're getting all the contracts that come with it. Now, obviously, they can release a lot of these people. It just looks like a really weird buy because Stephanie Valkyrie looked uncomfortable up there. You also had Joaquin Wilde, who has made it clear that he's not Latino by any means. So now you're just kind of basically saying that all Mexicans look alike, even though this guy is, again, not Mexican, he's Filipino. And with Stephanie Valkyrie, like I said, she looked uncomfortable. She looked like she didn't want to be there. She looked like she didn't even like the news that it was getting bought out. When Michael Cole does announce it, she has like this very straight kind of face and not happy at all by any means until like a second or two later when she finally does start smiling, like she claps and all that stuff. It's very, very clear that she does not like this move by any means. I do not like the fact that we're getting NXT and AAA Worlds Collide because I hope that none of the roster is near her. The cousin and brother should not be allowed near her either. I know, again, you're saying, well, what did they do? It's not about what they did. It's about the emotional damage and the fact that they're related to the person who literally tried unaliving her and abused her in multiple different ways, multiple different times. They should not be allowed near her at all. If she, I hope she has a restraining order. If she doesn't, I hope that someone's able to get her one soon because they should not be allowed near her. It's just way too much. And if WWE actually does care for women then again, they don't make us believe it. But if they want to make us believe it, they would do everything in their power to keep any of those people away from her. They should not be allowed to be anywhere near her. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like the move. It feels way too sick. And I just don't even like the whole monopolization thing of trying to buy companies and all that. Because I guarantee TNA's next. I can see a world where Noah becomes next as well. And it's just like, okay, AEW is partnering with New Japan Pro Wrestling. AEW is partnering with CMLL. If wrestlers are wanting to leave, because there have been a few wrestlers that have just left New Japan and gone to AEW or left CMLL and gone to AEW, that's on them. That's completely on them. We already know that New Japan has a whole lot of issues when it comes to their roster and all that stuff, that a lot of their wrestlers don't even like being there because a lot of them are just signed to one-year contracts. Why would you want to be signed to a place for a one-year contract? Doesn't really make much sense. So it's like, that's better in my opinion. You can say that, oh, well, AEW is using its big influence to get a lot of these wrestlers to want to come there and all that stuff. And I'm not even going to, say you're wrong because it's very, very true that is the case. It's still at least a fair enough thing to where the wrestlers, aren't just being stolen from New Japan, aren't just being stolen from CMLL. AEW isn't turning CMLL into its cruiserweight division like I guarantee you WWE is going to be doing. AEW has also had a very big partnership when it comes to Ring of Honor and CMLL as well, where they've actually had I think they're having Grand Slam Mexico or something like that. But they also, have a lot of the CMLL wrestlers, in Ring of Honor. There's every time I see a Ring of Honor post, it is always it's always in Spanish. So it's like I have a hard time reading it sometimes. But you have Bandito as the current Ring of Honor champion. You had Commander as the TV champion, I think it was. Forgot exactly which one. I think Commander might have lost that title though because he is technically signed to AAA as well. I think he just kind of works dates. I think he kind of just works around when it comes to CMLL, or he might be signed to them as well. He might have a double contract, who knows. But maybe Tony Khan is kind of worried that he would end up going with AAA if WWE did get him, because I don't think he has a contract for AEW, or it's very possible he wants to get 4 contracts. So shout out to Commander. I don't know. But I just like the whole monopolization thing because I feel like it's not good for wrestling by any means. I feel like partnerships, great. Buying out, not great, especially if WWE does buy out TNA, because look at this current TNA partnership. It's just not doing anything for TNA at all, and it's really just taking everybody from WWE. So, yeah, I don't like it by any means. And again, I just don't like it for the women. I do not like that your response like a week or two later to Saraya saying that she would love to be in WWE doing something, or at least has aspiration to go back one day. Your response is, let's buy AAA, where Alberto Del Patron, a.k.a. Alberto Del Rio, is the current mega champion, the top champion of AAA. Doesn't feel right to me. And then again, you have Stephanie Valkyrie there. She said her dream was to be in WWE. You're now getting a really big audience from Chile, and you're just like, yeah, we're going to go buy AAA because we really want El Hijo de Vikingo. Yeah, no, it just doesn't feel right to me at all by any means. And if you're just trying to get like a large Mexican audience, I mean, cool, but you could have done a partnership. And again, you have Stephanie Valkyrie literally right there. You have Dominic Mysterio literally right there as well. And you have a whole bunch of other luchadors as well. So it's like, I just don't really like it, man. You could have just allowed the luchadors to actually be luchadors and things would be better. But no, you didn't do that. So yeah, no, don't really like this move by WWE. This has been a really bad week for WWE in my opinion. But this is going to go ahead and be it for me, though, y'all. We're going at about an hour and something minutes. Definitely hope y'all did enjoy this episode. Definitely hope, if you did enjoy WrestleMania, if you did enjoy NXT, if you do like the move with WWE buying out AAA, let me know down below how y'all feel about all these. What are y'all thoughts on all these things? But for me, though, y'all, I'm out. Y'all have a great one. Peace, everybody. Bye. And John Cena sucks.